Okay, this is a continuation of the Unit 10 study guide, doing the last problem, the longer way. So we did it the shorter way, where we simplified outside and outside and inside and inside. But if you don't see that, what you can do is take top and bottom and multiply by the square root of 8x. On the top, outside times outside gives us 4, and inside times inside gives us 16x squared. On the bottom, outside times outside is 2, and inside times inside is just 8x. The square root of 8x times the square root of 8x is just 8x. Hopefully you recognize that 16 is a perfect square, but if not, you could do a factor tree. So I've got 4 on the outside. The square root of 16 is 4. And if I look at x squared, when I expand it to x times x, I get one pair of x's. So I have x coming out and nothing's left inside. On the bottom, I have 2 times 8 is 16, x. And on the top, if I simplify 4 times 4, I get 16x over 16x, same, that equals 1, which was the same thing I got by doing it the short way of simplifying top over top, or outside and outside and inside and inside. All right, the last problem, simplifying answers from the quadratic formula. So first it needs to equal 0. This one does. If it equals 0, you can pick out your A, your B, and your C. My A is 3, my B is -12, and my C is 6. Then I start plugging in parentheses. I always substitute in parentheses. So I have negative B plus or minus the square root, parentheses, -12 squared, minus 4, parentheses 3, parentheses 6. And then this is all over 2, parentheses 3. So then I simplify 3 parts. The outside part here, negative times -12, simplifies to positive 12. Inside the square root sign, I put that in my calculator, and I do it without the square root sign. So I'm putting -12 in parentheses squared, minus 4, parentheses 3, parentheses 6. That gives me 72. So I have the square root of 72, and then 2 times 3 is 6. So now, oops, I didn't mean to draw that line. Put that, undo. Okay. Now I'm going to do a factor tree for 72. It's not a perfect square. So I've got 72. It's even, so I can divide it by 2, and I get 2 times 36. 36 is 2 times 18. 18 is 2 times 9, and 9 is 3 times 3. So when I look at my pairs, I have a pair of 2s and a pair of 3s. So I can take out one of the 2s, one of the 3s, and inside I still have a 2. So 2 times 3 is 6, and then I have the square root of 2. So I can rewrite this to be 12 plus or minus 6 times the square root of 2 all over 6. And that's why that long line is important, because I'm going to divide everything by 6. So 12 over 6 plus or minus 6 times the square root of 2 over 6. Reduce my fractions. 12 over 6 is 2. Plus or minus 6 over 6 is 1. And that's my final answer. 2 plus or minus the square root of 2. So again, pick out your A, your B, your C, plug them into the quadratic formula. simplify this outside part, the under the square root part, and the denominator. After you've done that, do a factor tree for what's under the square root sign and see if you can simplify it. In our case, we could. We simplified it to be 6 times the square root of 2. So I rewrote it, replacing the square root of 72 with 6 times the square root of 2. We divided 12 by 6 and 6 times the square root of 2 by 6, and we got 2 plus or minus the square root of 2.